Hey everyone, Jeffrey from Honda Morristown here, and behind me I have a 2021 Chevy Traverse. Now, I honestly really appreciated a couple of things about this SUV that I hadn't really had much experience with. So let's just do some quick thoughts and let's go ahead and jump in and let's do a walk around. Now, right away, you will notice the size and color of the Traverse. I really like the color. It's a nice silvery gray, and I think it's very pretty. The size itself is a little bit bigger than something like a Honda CR-V or a Toyota RAV4, mostly probably akin to a Ford Explorer. Now, it is a third-row SUV, and it does have a automatic tailgate here, which does open up with the push of a button there, and then there is obviously a button on the door as well. Now, you will see right away that it's not a bad amount of space, but with it being a third row SUV, those seats do fold flat, and it is fairly easy to do. Personally, I wish it was just a little bit easier, but honestly, and that's mostly just so I could show you with one hand, but it is actually fairly smooth. I just used two hands to make it a little bit easier. Now, all said and done though, it is not a bad amount of space, and like I said, it has a nice easy to go button to close. Now, if you do have any specific questions or thoughts or anything like that, always feel free to leave a comment. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know what it is you are seeing that you do like. Now, as you heard there, it honked. That is it locking, as it does have keyless entry. So we'll go ahead and check on the inside here. Oh, forgot, it's not a sensor one, it is a button push. So that's an obvious mistake on my part, just in not remembering. So it is a push button. You can see the locks there. You can see it lock and unlock, as opposed to like a proximity sensor where some they'll have there. I do have the key in my pocket, but pretty easy to go from there. So right away, you will notice the nice same colored interior of this sort of silvery gray there. Now, I honestly really do like that it sort of matches in color. I think it's a nice look, it's very clean, and I really appreciate it. And again, as with most third row SUVs, this is my favorite kind, with captain's chairs or bucket seats in that second row. I do really like that. So then climbing on in here, I will get it turned on, and I'll just talk about a couple of things here before I give my last kind of quick thoughts. It does fire right up just with the push button start. I do like that it has a little digital display there with actual physical gauges. I do like that. It's nice and easy to read, as you can see there. Then you do have the center console, which is very, very similar to most other Chevys and GMC products and vehicles here. It does have dual zone climate control, which is really nice. And I do like the layout of this center console. The one thing that I wish was a little bit different is I wish that the parking brake was just a little bit closer up here, just because it's a little bit not my favorite position. It's not bad. I'm left-handed, and so I always am just used to having my hand just kind of resting there if I'm not driving with two hands. And for some reason, I don't love that it's right there, or, you know, I wish this was just a little bit farther forward or flipped and on top of the shifter there. But that's just a personal preference. Most people probably won't mind. Just my own thoughts on it. I do like that it does have an off-road mode, as well as two-wheel or four-wheel choice selection there. You also do have some traction mitigation and lane departure controls as well. Otherwise, I like that it is a nice physical set of buttons, as well as a touchscreen that you can fairly easily navigate as well. And you do have the digital selection, especially for like the climate control, in addition to the physical buttons. I do appreciate both option choices. I do really like that you get both selections there on the touchscreen and the physical buttons. I like that. I really appreciate that. Otherwise, just some quick thoughts on this. I think this SUV would be a great option for anyone who is looking for a fairly easy to maneuver third row SUV that's a little bit bigger, but not huge feeling. You know, it's a little bit bigger than I think like a Kia Sorento, without really feeling like you're driving a very, very large SUV. You're not driving a Suburban or even a Tahoe. You know, this is that next size down that Chevy offers, and I really do appreciate that. But with that being said, you do still get a fair bit of space here. I really don't mind the size. I don't think it feels like an extra long vehicle. and you aren't cramped by any means. You know, there's actually a fair bit of room, especially in this front seat. So personally, I think it'd be a really comfortable ride for longer trips. I don't think I would have any issue in, you know, driving out to the beach. There's plenty of storage options, you know, with that split back row. And honestly, I think it'd be a really nice option for really anyone who's looking for a third row SUV, you know, but maybe doesn't have fully grown kids, so a couple of younger ones that don't need quite as much space or something like that. Even though there is plenty of space, it might just be kind of a nice option there. So just kind of my quick thoughts on this Chevy Traverse. If you want to see it yourself, come on down to Honda Morristown here in Morristown, Tennessee, and ask for Jeffrey. But otherwise, I will pop back outside and I will leave you with this. Once again, it is a 2021 Chevy Traverse.